Hi, I'm Nick Barnes. I'm the Director of Engineering, the School of Engineering, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to engineering. We're excited to see all new faces joining us, and we sincerely hope that this is going to be a great experience for you all. I'd like to recognise those among you who are joining us for both undergraduate and postgraduate courses. I'm delighted to welcome international students and delighted to welcome students from across Australia, including Canberrans. I'm delighted to welcome Indigenous students to engineering. We meet today here on the beautiful Ngunnawal Ngambri country. I hope you enjoy the campus here and the beautiful natural spaces around here. I personally feel quite connected to Black Mountain that I like to ride at occasionally, and I'd personally recommend that if you like a climb or a casual walk. I also wish to acknowledge the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people on whose lands we're gathered and pay my respects to their elders past and present. Thanks. So the School of Engineering consists of about 100 academic staff, including postdocs and technical administrative staff. There are about 100 PhD students, close to 1,000 undergraduate students and 75 masters. We are strong in researching in areas and teaching in areas across aerospace, energy, the environment, mechatronics, and information and signal processing. So the courses we offer are around the Bachelor of Engineering, which a lot of you are here for, I suspect, the Bachelor of Engineering Research and Development. We teach Bachelor of Engineering in Software Engineering, also co-taught with the School of Computing, and we have the Masters of Engineering. Within each of those programs, there are subparts, so there are majors within the undergraduate program, and the majors are in electronics and communication systems, mechatronics systems, renewable energy systems, environmental, aerospace, and nuclear systems. Within masters, it's slightly different. There we have augmentations, and our augmentations are renewable energy systems, electrical engineering, and mechatronics. ANU is a leading university in the world. We're very strong in terms of staff-student ratio and in terms of the employability of graduates, and we're strong in a number, within engineering itself, we're very strong in a number of areas of research. And part of the mission of ANU is to change Australia and make an impact to Australia and change the world through that, and that's through you as our undergraduates, so we want you to change the world. So I'm going to hand over now to people who are more going to go in more detail. So Fiona's going to introduce systems engineering. Salman's going to talk about teaching and learning. We're going to go into the student support services that you can have that are sort of your initial contact into advice around courses and things like that, and that's going to be covered by Natalie. There'll also be a talk on library services, followed by a tour of the facilities, and then we're going to break out into the individual program convener sessions. There'll be plenty of time there to ask questions specifically to conveners, and we're going to come back for an afternoon tea after that. And I will hand over to Professor Fiona. Thank you.
Thanks. Does that count as a promotion if my boss calls me professor? I'm actually an associate professor, but I'll take professor. My name's Fiona Beck. I actually work in the energy area. And one of the things that I really like about the way that we function here at ANU in the School of Engineering is that we do approach problems holistically. So that means that as an engineer in this school, I get to develop technology, but I also go and talk to government and tell them what they need to know about how to transition energy systems. I get to go and talk to industry and help them with their problems, and I get to teach. So I'm also the convener of the first year engineering course that you will probably, most of you undergraduates anyway, will be starting on Monday morning. So if you're in discovering engineering, you will be seeing and hearing a lot more of me. You will also be hearing a lot more about this word systems, right? So systems engineering is something that actually came out of NASA when they were trying to send people to the moon, right, in the Apollo missions all those years ago. These are super complex systems, right, that all need to work together. And there was no option to just go and tinker with things once it was launched, right? You couldn't just sort of send up a little tech crew to fix something on the outside or tweak that motor once it was up there, right? So there was no opportunities for failure, millions of points of failure, and everything had to work right every single time, right? And that led to this idea of systems engineering, and that is a process for how to think about engineering systems like that. Okay, I'll switch. So our courses here, the Bachelor of Engineering and the Masters of Engineering, they have 4 main elements. First of all, we have the fundamentals, right? And these are the things that you might generally think of when you think of engineering. Maths, physics, computing, electronics, mechatronics, mechanics, that sort of thing, right? These are stuff that we all know and love, like I'm assuming if you came to do an engineering degree, you enjoy that sort of stuff, the basis of the technical understanding that you need. And then we kind of choose an application area, for example, energy, and then you specialize and you gain specialized technical knowledge in that particular area, right? And that becomes more and more important as you go through your degree as well. And then you also have electives, and electives are great, particularly in this day and age, right? Because as you sort of shape your own graduate attributes to become the person that you want to be, to either get the job you want or invent the job you want in the future, you can actually pick and choose what you want, what skills and knowledge you want to add to your attributes to become an expert in whatever you want to be, right? And that could be anything from across the university that you can fit into your degree. And then running alongside all of this, either in the master's or the bachelor's, is this systems engineering core. And this is critical, because in this systems engineering core, we teach you how to use all that other stuff that you're picking up, all those skills, and we teach you how to apply them as an engineer, how to think like an engineer, how to embed them in complex systems, and also how to actually invent and innovate new systems. Okay, so systems engineering, I haven't actually given you a definition yet. It's a way of looking at the big picture when making technical decisions, right? That's a simple sort of common language definition. But we're not simple people, we're engineers. We need to be concise, and we need to really understand what we're talking about. So first of all, we at ANU have come up with our own definition of systems and of systems engineering. Whoops, can you go back? A system is a combination of elements that function together to produce the capability required to meet a need. It's quite a complicated definition, but it is very precise. And the key there is producing a capability to meet a need. Then systems engineering is a process for scoping, designing, building, operating, and decommissioning a system which addresses a particular need. Okay? Again, coming back to common language, it's about understanding the real problem that you're trying to solve to get a particular outcome, and then thinking in a very systematic way how you're going to solve that problem. So in the most sort of general way, this is the approach that most science and technology takes. The difference with our approach is that we have a process for this that's defendable and repeatable and can be followed each time so that you get the best outcome. So this is our ANU systems engineering process, also known as ASEP. You will become very sick of this diagram at some point. I show it to you many, many times over the course of Discovering Engineering. So you should have it emblazoned on your retina by the end of the semester. And it starts with understanding the business case and ends in building and operating your system, right? And there's a whole bunch of steps and stage gates in between. And we will go through this in a lot of detail in Discovering Engineering and for the rest of your degree. So this systems engineering process will be the scaffold over which your systems core will be built. So in Discovering Engineering, we actually cover the whole thing at quite a high level, right? We really throw you in, we get you to build, we get you doing a project, and we take you through the process and introduce you to each one of those steps in a relatively high level. Sorry, I forgot about this slide. Your fundamentals and your majors, right? That specialized technical knowledge sits somewhere here, right? In the design phase, where you're doing your preliminary and detailed design, right? And that's where you actually need to know the deep technical details of what you're doing. Towards the end of your degree, in your last year, you will be doing a capstone or individual project, right? And at this point, you will be applying everything that you've learnt about the systems engineering process to a particular project. You'll be working with an academic. If you're working in an individual project, you'll be working with an academic or an academic group, a research group here at the school. So myself have had lots and lots of honours students doing their individual project, looking at developing new ways of making renewable fuels, looking at doing scoping and feasibility studies for green hydrogen corridors. You may decide to do a capstone project instead, which you'll work in a group. I've also had these where I had a group of students designing a prototype of what a solar hydrogen system looks like, right? Doing CAD drawings, looking at how these things would be manufactured. So that at that point, you're going to need to be thinking and acting and working like an engineer. Oh yes. So one of the really interesting and unique parts of our degree is the humanitarian engineering minor. Minors kind of are an additional thing that you can get alongside your major, and this one extends your major into this field of humanitarian and development, right? So we have a whole range of projects across the world. You may get to actually go overseas and do a stay in one of these countries and do a project if that's something you want. You may be working here and decide to do different projects throughout your degree or your individual and capstone project on a humanitarian topic. And this is really looking at fundamental human needs that are not being met and figuring out how we can meet them with engineering, right? So I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. Those of you that are not going to be doing Discovering Engineering, I'm sure I'll run into you at some point. Good luck with everything. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be difficult, but there are lots of people to help you out, and we're really excited to have you on board.
Thanks, Fiona. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salman Durrani. Like Fiona, I'm an academic in the School of Engineering. My research is in telecommunications. I'm part of the Information and Signal Processing Research Cluster in the school. I also teach the first year course in electronics, which majority of the undergraduate students here will be doing in semester 2. As Associate Director Education for the School of Engineering, I basically look after all our schools' educational offerings. And in that context, I'm going to talk about a few important things that you need to be aware of that will cut across or are common to all the courses that you're going to take in the coming semester. So the first one is the ANU Student Code of Conduct. Please make sure you familiarize yourself with this brief document before start of semester. This is important because as ANU students, you are a very important part of the ANU community. And at all times, your conduct needs to be proper when you're on campus. For instance, you need to be honest and ethical at all times. Academic honesty and plagiarism is treated very seriously here at ANU. Also, when you are on the campus, if you're interacting with fellow students, with tutors, with staff members, whether face-to-face or in online sessions, at all time, please be aware bullying or any kind of discriminatory behavior is not tolerated. And we have a similar code of conduct for staff, so staff are bound by a similar code of conduct. All right, so the second thing I want to signpost for you is that your feedback is very important. Your voice matters. And the feedback that you provide helps us to monitor the teaching and learning that is happening in our courses. So at the end of every semester, ANU runs the Student Experience of Learning and Teaching, SELT surveys. So you are able to provide confidential feedback at the end of semester on all your courses, and your feedback helps us to improve future offerings of these courses. So SELT and giving feedback on SELT is very important. We treat SELT very seriously. If you have feedback during the semester, you don't need to wait until the end of semester. If you have feedback, the first point of contact should be your course convener. Okay? If you would prefer not to contact the course convener, then you are more than welcome to send confidential feedback to me. So my functional email address as School Associate Director Education is there. These slides will be sent around. So you can share your concerns with me. In addition, at any point, you can send feedback to CECC Student Services or the ANU Student Association or even to the College Associate Dean Education. But please be aware that in most cases, the feedback gets routed back to me as School Associate Director Education. So feel free to just contact me directly if you have any feedback. Okay, now the third thing is class representatives. So when you have your courses start next week, course conveners will ask for nominations for you guys to volunteer and serve as class representatives for the courses that you're taking. And class reps play a very important part in helping keep track of the teaching and learning that happens during the semester. Next slide, please. So as a class rep, your goal is to provide ongoing constructive feedback on behalf of the class to the course convener. So class reps meet with course conveners as often as required. And also to the Associate Director Education, which is myself. So as School Associate Director Education, I have 2 confidential meetings with all the class reps from all the engineering courses. And if there is any issue or feedback, you're welcome to highlight at those meetings. So being a class rep is a volunteer role, but there are many benefits. First, you get to see how teaching and learning works in the higher education context. You will get a certificate of recognition at the end. And most important of all, you get to have a very important say in how teaching and learning is going in your courses on behalf of your students. So please consider volunteering to be a class rep. It's a great way to make a difference to your and your classmates' teaching and learning experience. Next one. All right, the final bit from my side to signpost is ANU access and inclusion. So here at ANU, we are here to support your learning no matter what your circumstances. So if you happen to have anything could be physical or health related, you could have carers responsibilities, you could be an elite athlete juggling your studies and your sporting commitments. If you fall into any of these categories or anything applies to you, then you can just reach out to ANU Access and Inclusion. They work with you, and on your behalf, they develop a personalized education access plan that is then communicated to all your course conveners. And receiving that plan allows course conveners to better support your learning requirements. So please, if this is applicable, don't be shy, reach out and discuss with ANU Access and Inclusion. All right, so before I hand over to Natalie to talk about the CECC Student Services, just signposting some important contact information. So if you have any administrative inquiries regarding your degree, enrollments, etc., the CECC Student Services is the first point of contact. If you have any question about your courses, contact your course convener. But if you have any questions about the degree or the program rules that apply to you, then these are the contact details for the 4 program conveners. You will actually get to meet them in the program convener sessions that are planned for later after you have a tour at the end. So please make sure to make a note of that. All right, so I'll next hand over to Natalie, who is going to talk to you about the CECC Student Services.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Salman mentioned, my name is Natalie Seagart. I'm the manager in CECC Student Services and Employability. Just quickly, if any of you were here this morning for the computing session, if you're a software engineering student and you came along to that session, you will be hearing a repeat, but it's a good way to sort of embed this information in your head. So I'm here today to sort of talk to you about student services and what we do, and how we can assist you throughout the duration of your studies. So my team are here to make sure that you have an enjoyable and successful time throughout your degree. We look after all of the administrative processes that underpin your studies, so your program enrolment, your course enrolments and all of that, those sorts of things. And we also facilitate a whole bunch of experiential learning, so work integrated learning, exchange opportunities and things like that. So we will often be in contact with you throughout the semester with those sorts of opportunities. We expect you as adults and university students to be engaging with the rules and to familiarise yourself with the policies and requirements of the university and of your program. But we understand that things can get complicated. Some of our rules are quite difficult. And so if ever in doubt, please don't hesitate to come and see us in CECC Student Services. I will say though, we are a very small team. There's only 10 of us and there are about 3,500 students in our college. And at peak times, like right now, it can take us a little bit of time to get back to you if you send us an email. So if it's an urgent inquiry, we really suggest that you come and speak to us in person at the CECC Student Services front counter. We're located in the CSIT building just across there on the 2nd floor, and we're open Monday to Friday 10 till 4. So we'll be able to help you 9 times out of 10 on the spot, and if not, we can pop in an appointment for you. My student employability team, they are your experts in the work integrated learning opportunities that are accessible to you as part of your degree. I know that your conveners will go into this in a little bit more detail in your induction session, but as an undergraduate engineering student, you'll have required work experience that my team support all of the administrative functions for in collaboration with the conveners. They also help with your capstone administrative processes as well. So they are a fantastic resource. They've developed outstanding information on the website that will really help you understand exactly what your requirements are. So we really suggest that you take the time to look at that information and acquaint yourself with that so you know exactly what's going on for you. The team has also advised me that they have an internship information session that's going to be held on Wednesday the 13th. Work experience session that is being held on Wednesday the 13th of March as well. So if you're interested in what that means for you in your degree, please keep an eye out for that email and register and go along to that session. Okay, so the engineering student portal. So by now you hopefully will all be familiar with Wattle, which is your learning platform. But we've also created portals for engineering students that have a lot of information about your program specifically, and my employability team also will post job opportunities, careers events, things that are coming up that are going to be directly relevant to the engineering cohort, both undergraduate and postgraduate. So you do need to self-enroll into that Wattle Wardle portal. So when you jump on next time, you can search engineering portal, and that will show up for you there. Okay, so at some point throughout the stage of your academic journey, you may be impacted by personal, physical, mental health or academic challenges, regardless of whether or not you have a history of this sort of challenge, or if this is the first time you've experienced something like this. It can be really disconcerting and really stressful. And so it's just really important to remember in those periods, if you can, that ANU has a raft of support services available to you, and we want to be able to help you. A quick Google search is typically all you need to find the right people to talk to, but the beautiful thing about ANU is if you don't get to the right people in the first instance, we will always be able to help you, redirect you to the people who can assist you. And again, I'll reiterate, if there's ever any sort of question or concern and you're not sure who to talk to, you can always come to Student Services in the first instance, and we can direct you where you need to go. I also just want to point out that, you know, despite our readiness to help you, it often starts with you, and being proactive about your health and your academic journey is really sort of what it's about. So if you are feeling like things are starting to get a little bit out of control, please do come and get help early, so we can put some measures in place before sort of things get a little bit out of hand. Okay. So the ANU OK app, just really quickly, is the university's official app, that health and wellbeing app that provides security, emergency information, contact information, a map of the campus, all of the sort of useful bits and pieces that you might need as you're sort of studying here on campus. I think one of the excellent features on the app is the work alone feature. So if you're ever going to be here on campus by yourself, or just in a small group of friends working sort of late into the night, which will invariably happen at some point, you can register that and just let ANU security know where you are, and they can pop by and do a check just to make sure you're okay. It's a really, really good feature. Okay. So as I mentioned, wherever possible, please do come and see us in person at CECC Student Services, or by all means do a quick look on our website. The link is up there to see whether or not we've published that information that you might be asking about in the first instance. We've put a lot of college-specific processes and requirements up in that link that you won't see necessarily on programs and courses. So it's always a good first bet to have a look on the website and just double check, does CECC have a process about this? Do they already have information? And as I said, do please drop in to see us. You can book appointments with us as well via Career Hub, but at the moment the booking systems are full, so it's just a matter of sort of checking through. All right, that's enough from me. Thanks very much for your time this afternoon. I hope you've had a great week so far, and again, by all means, come and speak to us if you've got any questions or concerns.
Excellent, thank you very much. Welcome everybody. I'm so pleased to be here telling you all about ANU Library. My name is Kathy Burton. I reside over in Hancock Library, which is one of the 4 branch libraries we have here at ANU, and that's where you'll find all of your information needs for engineering. So what you'll find in Hancock Library is a whole lot of information. Now, of course, you need information when you need information, and information for an engineering student can mean I might not see you until 4th year when you're doing your project. You might find that you have enough to sustain you through the first few years. I would encourage you though to come into the library and go to one of our tours and join the information session just to get those little basics under your belt, and that might be just finding your textbook, if you do in fact have one, for your course for the semester. You might find that we have a multitude of different other resources that'll help you get started and organised. Things like bibliographic management products that can help you organise all of your citations. because we're here to help you succeed and have the best year possible in your first year at engineering, and we want to supply you with lots of scholarly information sources, and we want to provide you with the skills that you can embark upon your studies and have that academic integrity under your belt right from the beginning. So just a bit more about the Science Library. We are a 24/7 library. Your student card is your borrower card. So hopefully you've all got your student card by now. We're there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. After then, the front door can be swipe card opened with your card, and you can enjoy the different spaces in Hancock Library. Other libraries are 24/7 as well, Chifley Library and the Law Library. Menzies Library is more of a scholarly space, doesn't have quite so many undergraduates, so you get to feel, you know, where is your space? How do you like to study within the library? You know, just because we're a science library, we have lots of different people come over, so it is a little bit sort of multi-subject orientated as well. We get lots of law students and business students coming across. So it's not just science, physical or biological. You can access a huge round of resources. I've mentioned textbooks. We have quite literally millions of information sources from either scholarly journals or things like standards. As we were talking about the fourth year engineering projects, I was thinking of some examples of engineering students that have come and said, Kathy, can you help me find the load-bearing specifications that I need for a wheel to move a shipping container? Yeah, of course I can. So we go through that process. So there are a variety of different questions that you can utilise library resources to assist you in your studies. When you want to access our resources off campus, you will need to access via the reverse proxy. You can just Google ANU ITS working remotely and you'll get the link to the reverse proxy. It's virtual.anu.edu.au and that will take you seamlessly through your authentication. So when we want to start searching or interrogating our databases, our platform is known as Super Search. It also encompasses the library catalogue and that will contain everything physical and online. For Super Search, you will be researching things like different assignments, individual articles that I've mentioned. We have different services that you can use to contact us. So every time you go into Super Search, you'll see a live chat box pop up on the side. There is a live library staff member there, just waiting to have a chat with you and engage with you on your information requests for that day. And it could just be, I'm trying to find this for my assignment, I want to find this article, I can't see it in Super Search, can you help me through that process? I think this is on course reserve for my course, I can't find it. No question is too small, and as many other staff have indicated that we can put you in contact with a mechanism to find something if it's not available within the library. Signing in is very important in the top right hand corner, that is your authentication. Getting into the subject areas now, we have many different subject guides that we've tailor-made and we certainly have one for engineering. So these assist you with finding just about any information. So you may also be doing different subject areas from with computer science. You might even be doing some project management work as well. There are different subject guides that can get you started on that. The next slide, please. All of our information sources, we have over 700 different key databases and many sources specifically for engineering from IEEE, AIAA, any, Association of Computing Machinery. Anything that you need for developing your learning. We have online, we have videos, we have Safari textbooks online, for example. Everyone likes to learn in a slightly different way. Some people like to read a book, some people like to see a video. There are those available as well. Now, for some reason, this is really funny. Like every other group we've presented this to, the ability to say to you that you can borrow 100 items at one time if you wish to do so for 4 weeks. No, I'm going to be proved wrong. Nobody laughed then, so anyway, that fell dead. You can if you want. That is the maximum number. However, most of the material is online, but you can certainly do that. We have self-checks, just like a normal public library has. You can come in and borrow the material yourself, and you do need to have your student card, as I've mentioned. If it's a physical book, you can return the book after hours. Each of the libraries has an external book chute, and you can return it to any of the libraries. Just the next slide, please. Different spaces in the library. We have bookable study rooms. Engineers do love to talk in groups and discuss things. We have whiteboards there. We have markers at the information desk that you can come down and borrow. They're all bookable on our website. There are different zones around the library. You choose how you like to study. If you want deathly silence, head off to the red zone. If you're into some more noise, then the green zones are going to be the ones that you like. There's also something in between, which is the yellow zone, which is the quiet zone. So you decide how you like to study to get the best out of what you need to do. Last slide. ANU Library offers many different training sessions, both online and in person. If all else fails and you want a one-on-one research consultation with myself, I will be happy to do that for you. So this is one of the most tailor-made things that we do in the library. You book an hour of my time, and we spend that hour going through your information, your research topic, what it is that you're finding difficulty finding, and set you on that path. We cover things from academic writing through our academic skills section, and that may also be anything to do with referencing, because you certainly don't want to get that referencing wrong. You know, as I said to everyone, that they're easy points to gain. You know, referencing material is, you know, you need to do that well, and that is part of the academic integrity, and that's part of the ANU values. So we're here to support that. We're here to help you find the most appropriate piece of scholarly material for your assignments. There are other ways that you can come in. You can actually come in and see us at the information desk. There's staff there 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So there are many different ways to connect to us. But we do hope that we see you in some shape or form before your 4th year. So good luck on your journey, and we would love to be a part of that. So thank you.
All right, so thank you everyone. This is the first part of the presentation done. What we have next is 2 student ambassadors are going to take you on a tour of some engineering and common facilities. The tours are identical. They are just staggered in the locations that they visit. And then the student ambassadors are going to bring you back to this building, ground floor, where program conveners will be waiting. And then you are expected and invited to attend the program convener session for the degree that you're enrolled in. All right? Now, could you... are the student ambassadors at the back? Can I get them to...